Thank you guys. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Black Moon Goddess Intuition. I am Black Moon Dwan. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, welcome back. If you're returning, I am going to be doing a reading for the full moon in Pisces. There's a lot of energy going on. There's a lot of things that are in the energy field as far as growth, expansion, challenges, things of that thing. Pisces is all about your emotions, diving deeper into your emotions. We still have the Virgo energy in there, so there's still that analytical aspect, and we're also in Mercury retrograde. So this is also a time of reflection. Got my notes again. So let's get into the notes. When I was meditating on the energy and getting ready for this, I was plagued with like, how can we do better? How can we be better? How can we tell the difference between reality and fantasy, what we're capable of and what's just outlandish, right? And these questions came to mind. So I'm gonna pose them to you, and maybe you could think about this during the reading, during this full moon, because you do know the full moon energy lasts for 6 months. So the energy phases and cycles, the energy overlaps. So it's a continuous motion. So you're building on the last energy of the last full moon and the new moon and the full moon. So it's a cycle. So it's a culmination of the energies throughout the year. Okay, so the first question, because this full moon is all about, as you can see in the title, it's all about sitting with yourself. It's all about reflecting, reviewing, rewinding again and reviewing again, attuning and atoning. So the two things that stood out with me about that whole thing was attunement and atonement. Okay, so atonement is, paying for how can I say it? It's like paying a debt, right? Say you've offended someone and you're gonna atone for this offense, right? So with that, you're going to do something to make it right, right? It's to make something right. And attunement is all about tuning in and creating harmony and balance within yourself and within your relationships, within your environment, within your projects, within the things that you're trying to achieve here. So the questions that posed were, who is my future self and how are they behaving or acting in this very moment, right? How is my future self different from who I am right now? So if you were to act in your future self, how would that person be? How would they act? How would they feel? How are they different from where you are now, right? And it says, who will I become if I don't make any changes? Like if you don't change from who you are at this very moment, ever in life, ever again, you don't evolve, you don't change, you don't do anything but stay where you are, who will you become? Who will that be? Who are you at this very moment, right? And it says, how do these changes play out? So how do the changes look? Like if you make a significant change in one area of your life, how will that look? How will you change? How will that change the way you speak, the way you address yourself, the way you address other people, the way you let people address you? How will that change in the way you move, the way you think, the way you feel, right? And then we get to the sit, reflect, review, rewind, attune, and atone. So we get back to this place of sitting with ourselves, going into our subconscious, traveling into that part of ourselves that we kind of like keep hidden. This is the time during this Mercury retrograde, during this Pisces full moon, because this is all about your intuition. It's all about those deep running emotions. It's all about duality. It's all about being able to tell the difference between reality and fantasy, your conscious and your subconscious, and bringing it together in a harmonious way so that it's a cycle of a flow of good and understanding and involvement and growing and making things manifest into a way that are practical and quantifiable in the physical 3D realm, because Pisces is all about the other realms and escapism and things in the spiritual realm. But we do have Virgo, which is analytical, which is an earth sign. So that is bringing all of those things that you are thinking, all of those things that have been pondering around in your mind, all of those things that you're trying to get a grasp on, is being able to put it into an analytical outline for yourself. Okay, pros and cons list, or a to-do list, or whatever it is. It's quantifying it in the 3D and not letting it be just in your head. It's getting it down on pen, with pen and paper. It's getting it out of your head and into the 3D. So this could be speaking it out loud. This could be writing it down. This could be blogging about it, making a video about it. It's just getting it out of you and into the universe, right? Because energy doesn't die. It's not made, it's not created, it's not any of that. It just transmutes and changes. It never dies. It just transmutes and changes. And it changes with the path that we choose. So if you choose to be this person who you are now forever, how will that look for you? How will your life be? How will you make decisions from now on? Are you going to make them the same way? Are you going to be make different decisions because you've satisfied yourself with being where you are now? For those of you that are not satisfied with where you are now, what changes do you need to make? What would your future self look like? What does the evolved you look like? And that's what this full moon is all about. It is a harvest full moon too. And I was thinking to myself, what is the harvest part? How is this fitting in? Why is that sticking out to me so much? And it's sticking out because harvest is all about gathering. It's all about collecting your goods, your dividends, so you can store for the winter and things of that nature. Because fall is upon us, my guys. Fall is upon us. So that darkness, that winterness, that coldness, that stillness is upon us. Like, it's coming quicker than you can believe, right? And with this Mercury retrograde, they always tell you don't make new projects, don't sign any contracts, be careful of communication, be careful of travel, things of that nature. And this also has to do with yourself. A lot of you, since this is the Pisces full moon, you might have had vivid dreams last night. You may have them for the next couple of nights, for the next week. You might be coming into this energy of having vivid dreams or vivid daydreams. I call them hijackings because usually they're visions of some sort. There's usually a nugget of something in there for you, an inspiration, a creative spark, something that's going to get you moving into action. But it's not for you to take action at this moment. It's for you to get that spark and get it down on paper, right? Or get it out or document it some kind of way, so that when that energy is not in this aloof kind of energy, just swirling energy, and it comes back to that grounding energy where you're able to put a step forward and make plans. This is what this time is for. During this Pisces, Virgo, Mercury retrograde, there's other planets in retrograde too. We got, Uranus, we got Neptune. These are all about your intuition. This is all about otherworldly things. So a lot of spiritual connections, a lot of intuitive connections. Some of you are going through an initiation process with yourself. You are evolving from where you are to a higher plane. Some of you are resisting. Don't resist change. The only thing constant is change. I say that all the time, and I stand by it. The only thing constant is change. We have to change to evolve. If nothing changes, if you think that nothing's changing, something is still changing. Even if you feel like you've been in the same spot for God knows how long, or you keep going through the same thing for God knows how long, something is still changing. You just have to be acute enough and tuned in enough to review, to sit with it, to review it, to rewind it back in your mind, replay it, go back down memory lane, go back to where this energy started if it's something that is holding you back. A lot of you are going to be dealing with a lot of emotional things coming up here. So it's going to be like dealing with emotional traumas, coming to focus us and to terms as to what was happening, what did you allow to happen. This is atoning to yourself and those that you may have hurt when you were not in your highest vibration, or when you were going through some things and you weren't yourself. You dig me? You know, we all go through changes. We all go through evolutions. Even, like I said, if you feel like you're not, you are. Okay? Spiritual baths are going to be very potent at this moment in time. So I would encourage you, those of you that are into that, make you a spiritual bath. Get you some calming candles. Use some calming herbs in your bath. You can even infuse it with crystals such as labradorite, moonstone, bloodstone, amethyst, fluorite. These are good crystals to infuse. You can make your moon water with these as well. Okay, so just to be mindful. And this fantasy versus reality is really, really prominent at the moment. So for those of you that are into the new moon, full moon rituals, you can make your moon water. You can write down everything that you want to let go of. You can use a mugwort smudge or burn some type of clearing, psychic connection type of incense. Frankincense and myrrh is great for that. Sandalwood is good for that. Even rose incense, because that helps you connect with your emotions, right? You can burn a silver or a purple candle. There's also the relaxing herbs that I told you about. You could put them in a sachet, put them in your pillow, things of that nature. Aquamarine is good. Lapis lazuli, turquoise. Some herbs, chamomile, jasmine, rose, like I said, thyme, orris root, yarrow, eucalyptus, lavender, and dandelion. These are all of the things that came to my mind when I was doing the meditation portion of this. This is kind of going to be like an in-between of the full moon and the weekly kind of feeling, because I feel like this energy is going to prominate more than the 3 days. It is, like I said, 6 months working in the background, and usually it's prominent the first 3 days, but I feel like it's going to be prominent for this whole week, starting today until next Saturday. I'm feeling, so just roll with me. I'm going to try and keep it within the full moon, but if you get a message for you that's for this week, then by all means take it. I'm going to try and come up and do a weekly reading for this week tomorrow. So, let's get into it. I got my crystals and my oracle cards. I wiped down everything, so we're gonna get into the energy here. We're gonna start with the I Ching, and I have a clear quartz on top of the I Ching. And of course, you guys know I will be reading from the book for this. So let me get my I Ching book so that I can go over that. We're going to pull 2 cards for the I Ching. Let's get our prayer in. Thank you, God, Source, Spirit, the infinite energy of life, death, renewal, and rebirth. I thank you for my ancestors, my lineage. Thank you for my abilities and my gifts. I ask that you let my ancestors, my guardians, my angels, my Orishas, all of the guiding spirits, my celestials, my terrestrials, and all of the galactic beings to be here with me, to give me a message for the collective, for this full harvest moon in Pisces, September 10th, 2022. Make it clear, make it so that I can understand it and they can understand it. I thank you, and I love you. Ashe, amen. Okay, we got 6 and we got 4. Before I even go into the book, I'm just going to see what I get off the energy of the cards. 6 for me is all about rebirth. It's all about that incubation period when they say you got the bun in the oven, it's all about your bun in the oven. And that yeast is waiting to do is activation and rise. Okay, so I'm getting that, and I get the 4. I get stability, I get foundation, I get duality. I also feel like this could be a change in that. There is something here where there is a mountain or a formation, I feel. So there is something that is kind of like maybe blocking you from seeing the positivity or the foundation that you have, or the resources that you have that help you, that give you that feeling of creativity, inspiration, and stability. And safety. Okay, number 6. Number 6 is sung, conflict. Above heaven, below water. Heaven rises, water falls. Conflict at the beginning. The natural movement of heaven is upward. Water moves naturally down. When two forces pull in opposite directions, conflict is inevitable. Someone or something that you may not be immediately evasively that may not be immediately evasively pulling against you, obviously pulling against you. You are sure you are in the right place. Proceed cautiously. If you are in doubt, do not proceed at all. This is, like I said, that incubation period. It's that time to ponder over things, not take action. If you move too quickly or force something, then it will be not advantageous for you. It will cause conflict. It will cause problems. It will cause a breakdown in your stability. And that's where that wall was, that was saying there was something blocking you or stopping you. There's a conflict. There's a conflict of interest for some of you. For some of you, it's a conflict, an inner conflict within yourself that's not letting you see what you need to do. For others of you, it's more of that energy of you are trying to force something that doesn't need to be forced at this moment. It's telling you to slow down, to stop, pause, sit, review again, right? Blood starts racing through my veins. All right, number 4, youthful folly, Meng. Above mountain, below water. Water below mountain. The inexperienced person seeks a teacher. A spring emerges at the foot of the mountain. The landscape will ultimately determine how the water will flow. At present, it is directionless. It rushes over the ground seeking places where it can gather and deepen. Thus, the inexperienced person seeks an experienced teacher. The teacher does not seek the student, but who might approach with humility. This reminds me of the Chinese movies where it's like, they be like, "Master, can you be my sensei?" It's like you are seeking out higher knowledge. You are seeking out someone with more experience. You are seeking out someone that you feel has the answers. But you're being blocked. So maybe you're feeling ashamed. Maybe you're not looking in the right places. Or maybe the people that you come into or try to gain that knowledge from are not the right people. So it's discouraged you in some sort of way. Whatever it is, you need to examine what it is within you that is stopping you from moving forward. Because I kind of feel like this is an internal thing, more so than external. Okay? What am I going to pick, guys? Okay. We're going to use the Cthulhu Dark Arts Tarot. We're going to get 3 cards. Baby, make me so miserable. If you want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and freeze it. These cards are huge. All right, 3 cards, please, Spirit. Thank you for this message. 2. Okay. One more, please. One more. That came out in reverse. I usually don't read reversals, but I was guided to do so. All right. So we got the 2 of Wands. This is direction. This is movement. This is a path. Okay. I'm not really shuffling just to pull cards. I'm just shuffling just to channel. I feel like I heard shot in the dark. I feel like a lot of you have been in this energy where you have been just doing things and not thinking them through. I think now is that time where all of those things that have been swirling is going to give you a direction and a path. Because whatever path you choose dictates the next steps in your destiny, right? So with each step and each decision that you make, or that you realize within yourself, it's putting you on a different path on your destiny, right? Because we have free will. And because we have free will, it gives us a choice. This path that you've chosen is a difficult one. The journey of self-renewal, self-actualization, mastery, transformation, it's a long and arduous one. It's not one to be taken into lightly. It's not something that's a quick fix. It's not something that can be just, it's not something that you can play with, okay? It's something that you have to take seriously. And if you're not trying to be serious, then you come into all of these conflicting energies, right? Because you're trying to make things happen, but you're not dedicating yourself to the processes to make them happen naturally. So you're trying to force them before you're ready. That's that saying, God doesn't give you more than you can handle. God's not going to give you more than you can handle, but you keep pressing the issue, you're going to get it, and it's not going to come the way you want. So this is what I said, it's time to sit and review things. And some of you is like, literally, you have to make atonement. You have to pay recompense for the things that you've done in your lower form, or in when you're not in your highest energy. All of us act out. Hurt people hurt people. And when you heal yourself, you also heal those around you. So you heal those relationships. You're a man or a woman about your shit. And if you are a man or a woman about your shit, okay, when you're wrong, you're wrong. And this is going to help bring harmony back into your life. It's going to help you clear out some energies within yourself that you've been harboring. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's just feeling bad about something. Maybe it's just things that keep coming up that you thought you were rid of. But they keep coming up because you haven't handled the issue. You keep skirting around it. Keep trying to skip steps. And because you're skipping steps, you're getting pushed back to the same place because you're not following it in the order that it's supposed to be followed. Okay? So this is choosing a path, choosing a direction, making a choice. Okay. We got the 5 of Cups. And it came out upside down, so let me just leave it. The reversals today. The 5 of Cups in reverse is not feeling regret, not feeling sorrow. This is deep sorrow, like deep regret, feeling guilt. That's that guilt I was feeling. That's what's blocking you from seeing that youthfulness, right? And it's a young and foolish mistake to hold that energy in, because it's blocking you from manifesting what it is you're trying to manifest, whether it's a better job, whether it's a better relationship, whether it's a better communication, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to create, it's blocking you because you haven't been able to face those things in the past. So that's something that you need to release during this Pisces full moon. Release all of those, all the guilt, all of the hidden baggage that you've held, right? Dump out all of the sorrow, dump out all of the connections that you've had with toxic people, toxic friendships, all of these things where people have intruded on your boundaries and encroached on your privacy and things of that nature. And we also have the 7 of Swords in reverse. 7 of Swords is usually deception. So this is coming out of that self-deception. This is coming out of letting people deceive you. This is coming out of being naive and gullible to the stories that other people tell you and the stories that you tell yourself, right? And this is coming out, this is like somebody that's an avid reader, right? And all they've ever read was fiction and fantasy, right? And then they get themselves a freaking biography that is more earth-shattering and chilling than any fantasy or nonfiction that they've ever read, right? So this is like hitting that reality check, right? That's like somebody that's always read fantasy novels. They think that that's what romance and that's what love is like until they get into a real a relationship and they really know what love is for real. The pains that it goes through that go with it. They know there's not always love and sunshine and rainbows and all that, right? Or someone that is used to starting from the bottom somewhere and then they get a position and they're right where they need to be and they didn't have to work their way up to there. That's a reality check. Your skills are speaking for itself. Your work is speaking for itself. You are speaking for yourself. You're showing up for yourself. Coming out of that deceptive energy that you've been telling yourself, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not worthy. Nobody cares what I have to say. They don't see me. Whatever the case may be. Okay. Temperance on the bottom of the deck. This is all about patience. This is all about being patient with the process, trusting the process and doing the work. That's what that's about. So moving forward during this full moon is like letting go of all of those things that you've been hoarding. It's like you've been hoarding this energy. You've been hoarding these emotions. You've been hoarding these thoughts. You've been hoarding the pain. You've been suffering in silence. Blase, blah, wooty woo. Now it's time for you to let it out. Like I said, if you don't want to share it with someone, it's not necessarily about letting it out and venting to someone. It's about getting it out for yourself. What is an avenue, an outlet for you? Some of you might like to dance and release energy. Some of you might like to sing or write or whatever it may be. Whatever gives you peace and gives you an outlet to let go of all of this stuff, do that. Like I said, this is time to analyze all of this stuff. It's not time to dwell and wallow in it. It's time to look at it objectively. And not take it personal, because what's done is done. All you can do now is move from where you are. There goes that question. If I don't make any changes from who I am today, what will that look like for me? What will my life look like? Will I continue to go through the same thing? Will I continue to be without love? Will I continue to be without success? Will I continue to feel like I'm not making it? Will I continue to live paycheck to paycheck? Will I continue to have a life that's full of chaos every time I feel peace? All of these things you can control. Okay. We're going to use my new deck, my Stranger Things deck. I'm so excited. I pre-ordered that guy. She came. We're going to use her. Thank you, Spirit, for these energies. Thank you, God, for this message. Thank you, my ancestors, for being with me. And it's like, if you look at these cards, like there's like boulders and things. I'm getting like asteroid belt, like you're dodging bullets here. There's opportunities coming for you to be able to dodge these bullets. There's paths opening for you to be able to dodge some of these things. The shortcuts that you were looking for before, you weren't ready for. Some of you were doing the work and you are able to quantum leap now. Before you weren't, and you were just like a shot in the dark. You were just quantum leaping, but you didn't know where you were landing. Now you have a direction. You have a direction and you're ready to move forward. For those of you that are resisting, you're just making things harder on yourself. And you're going to end up in this darker place, and it's going to take you longer to get out of the hole. I feel like you will get out of it, but it's going to take you longer. So why repeat the cycle when you're in this moment of time to let it go? This is a very potent full moon. Like I said, it's time to harvest all of those deep things that you've held deep, kept in a cage, tried to hide, but they're right under the surface. Open that cage, open that door, unlock the door, let it out, and release it. What else do we have, please, Spirit? Whoa. Okay. Two more. I also feel like there's going to be a switch that goes off in who you want to be or who your future self is. That's where those questions came up. Who is my future self? How are they acting? How are they behaving in this very moment? right? How do they face adversity? How do they handle said situation? If I was operating in my highest self, if I was my most evolved self, if I was my truest self, how would I speak? How would I show up? What would I do? What would, you know, would my eating habits change? Would I dress differently? Would I speak differently? Would I allow certain things? Would I not allow certain things? Like those type of things. How would you assert yourself if you were your most evolved self? How would you conduct business, right? Okay. And two. Okay. Do you not want to go over there? Okay. I guess we're going to go like this. Bottom of the deck, we have justice. So there is some type of balance. There is some type of truth coming in. There is some type of equilibrium being, justice will be served in this situation. There is like, it's a done data, like the gavel is coming down on this, like your guides, your ancestors, your people, your earth angels, people that are around you, your environment, everything is supporting you to make these changes, to delve deep, to go ahead and cry if you got to, yell, break dishes, whatever you got to do to bring this emotion up, to bring these feelings up, to get it out of your mind, out of your heart, and ultimately out of your physical being, so that you feel lighter, you feel more optimistic, so that you can have a direction, right? Okay. Under the two of wands, we have the sun card, okay? And we have Dustin. Dustin is always the optimistic one. He always has another plan or an idea, or he doesn't give up, even though he's not the strongest out of the crew, right? He has intellectual knowledge. He's smart. He always comes up with a plan. He always sees the brighter side of things. So when you're in this crossroads of sorts, you're going to be looking in an optimistic way instead of in a place of pessimism and fear. Okay. Under the six, we got the four of scoops, which is the four of pentacles. The four of pentacles is all about misering, right? That's that holding on to, harboring, hoarding. That's what I'm saying. You're in this energy of hoarding it, hoarding pessimism, hoarding disappointment, hoarding betrayal. This is why this is like an automatic reflex, because you've gone through it for so much for so long. But this is the time to let it go, right? This is the time to dump out all of that and come to a place where you're able to gather and analyze why you feel that way, why these things are happening, that sort of thing, what's blocking you. Five of Cups in reverse, we have the Six of Strands, which is the Six of Wands. So like I said, you're moving from this place of deep sorrow, deep regret. All of these things is dark swirlingness, depression even. Some of you might be going through that. You're coming out of it like you're crawling out of the darkness, basically, moving forward to something that's more stable, something that's more fluid, something that's more harmonious. It's like you're done. You're done with the toxicity. You're done with the penny ante. Okay. We have the Seven of Spokes, which is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is all about illusion, delusion. That's that reality versus fantasy situation. You're coming out of that and seeing things more clearly with that Seven of Swords, right? You're coming out of that. You're being able to see what's real and what's fantasy. You're able to quantify it physically and spiritually at the same time. Your head, your heart, and your spirit are all in the same alignment. And once that happens, things on your physical body, literally physical body, will change. Some of you may be dealing with headaches lately. Some of you might have been dealing with like aches and pains in your muscles and bones and things like that, like arthritis. That's that tension setting into your joints. That's also residual energy. That's also residual energy resting in your physical body. Once you let go of certain things, a lot of these ailments will lessen or cease for some of you altogether. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is the Three of Spokes. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Three of Spokes, which is the Three of Cups, which is here in reverse. Like there's no happiness, there's no joy, there's no coming together, right? But here it's upright. So this is coming together with like-minded people, coming together with your emotions, moving into a place of collaboration and establishment. This is recognition of you, those people around you, and those things that are no longer serving you. Some of you, you're just in a cycle, I heard a clique. You're in a clique of people that are not, they're not soul aligned. Like they don't belong in your energy field and they can't go with you. They can't go with you on this journey. For others of you, you're really trying to be, you're really fighting it. You're fighting it so bad. You're fighting it tooth and nail. Even though you want to change, you're fighting it because you're in fear. You want something better. You want a better life. You want to be more emotionally stable. You want to be a more mentally clear. You want to be able to go for that job, go for that person, make yourself fertile ground for abundance, right? But you're fighting it and you're doing everything. It's like self-sabotage. Okay. It's self-sabotage at this point. So it's like, be mindful of where your thoughts are, how they make you feel, and what energy it puts you in. Like I said, look at it from an observer, an objective view, not being immersed in it, reliving it per se. This Pisces full moon is all about you becoming more in tune to yourself, being in tune to the messages that are being presented to you, because a lot of you are starting to see number patterns. A lot of you are starting to see color patterns. A lot of you are starting to see things that are really pointing, sticking out to you, and you don't know what they mean. Google it, research it, buy a book. You know, this is time to research, review, sit, review, rewind, do it again. You know what I'm saying? Experimentation here. Find something that works. Find something that feels good. Find something that's constructive and creative to help you come to terms and be whole. This Pisces full moon is definitely about being whole, finding your true self, coming into an evolved state of mind, an evolved being, the most highest, evolved, truest version of yourself. And in order to do that, you have to let go of the old programming. You have to let go of the old you. You got to let go of all of the old stories. You got to let go of all of that. And I know it can be scary because that's what we're used to, right? That's what we put in our minds as being worthwhile, worthy, because we know it's worked. Even though it doesn't feel comfortable, we know how to navigate through those choppy waters. And you're feeling like, if I do this, then what is that going to be? Venture into the unknown at this point. That's where you need to be. You're on that edge of stepping into something bigger than yourself, bigger than who you are now. Okay. I'm going to pull some of these playing cards. I know, man.
So this is the one I want. I want to say $42 for those paintings.
42. What we only have that in a 99J.
It's only in that color.
Hold on.
I don't. She cut the lace off of them. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she does that.
I don't know, and a 430.
We have that in a 430 too.
And a 99J. We only have those two colors. Did you want the 99J? Yes.
You bought both of them out?
Yeah, this is the 430 and this is the 99J.
I got a little blonde, not that little green. You cut the lace off?
This
That
doesn't have
lace off? Okay. Make sure. I just didn't know. The paper went back here. Okay.
And this one. You just got a lot of it on it, but
Where's the price now?
right here. There you go. Enjoy your weekend. My ears are popping so bad. Like, what is happening?
We have this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Oh, can I get somebody to cut it for me? Just cut
Um,
the lace off.
Let me go check.
You cut the lace off?
Yeah, it's $10 to cut the lace. Yeah, that's the last one.
Oh, okay.
It's $10 per lace.
She want. I guess she want to pay for it first.
Okay. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Y'all know how we do. Yeah, if y'all hear the fan, I'm sorry, it's hot. Thank you guys.
Cross it out. That was the
Just
last
stick
one.
it over there. What you go through all that for?
Where she go?
Just put it. So they put it up there on that round right there. That's not where she go, but you might as well let her stay there now. Yep. Thank you guys for bearing with me. You know how we do with the Wake Up Tarot. It's all real, baby. No hustle. All right, so like I said, this is all about intuitive hits. This is all about coming together with who you are. This is all about evolution. This is all about the reality of the situation versus the fantasy of the situation. And when I say fantasy, I don't necessarily mean badly. Like, you can have a view of yourself, right, that is nowhere near to what is real. Like, you can have a view that you are not prosperous. You can have a view that you are not worthy. You can have a view that you have to work yourself to death in order to have prosperity and a legacy and something to pass on to your family and your children. You could think that love is not in the cards for you. You can think all of these things, but that's a fantasy. You dig me? It's a fantasy. You can have whatever you put your mind to. You just have to know and believe that you're worthy and believe that it can happen. Make practical arrangements. Like, have a strategy. Don't just be out here shooting from the hip. You know what I mean? Don't be out here all willy-nilly. Have a purpose. Have a plan. Have a strategy. Sit with your thoughts, review them, really dig deep as to why you feel the way you feel. Why are you going through this? Why is this happening or that happening? You know? We got the King of Spades. The King of Spades is all about being skilled and thoughtful. I mean, well, being forthright and clear in communication, right? This is someone that asserts themselves through their intellect and through their communication. Like they communicate with a purpose. They think before they speak. They have they think 3 steps ahead. They always have a plan and a strategy. They're not just aloof. You know what I mean? They're not like the Knight of Wands where it's just like this in and out energy. I'm going to experiment. You can experiment, but experiment with a purpose, right? Write down your findings, things of that nature. Scientific method, that thing. All right, what else we got? We got the 7 of Spades, which is the 7 of Swords, and it's coming up in the upright. This is that energy I'm saying, like you're swirling around. There's things of this, you're deceiving yourself, self-sabotage. You're letting other people deceive you, which is self-sabotage as well, because you're not creating the boundaries needed, which is why you're in this energy of coming out of that energy of being sorrowful and regretful about some things and about situations. You're trying to see things in a more objective view. I just can't use another word besides objective view. We got the 3 of Spades, which is the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is all about one moment, guys.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend.
Make me confused when I see that I go to food. It's not because of you. I want you to be insecure. Understand I'm the only one I need. And we got the Ace of Spades. We got a lot of spades here. This is all has to do with your intuition, your intellect, your communication, the things on how you process things intellectually. This came out in the reverse, but I'm gonna put it in the upright because for some reason I just feel like it needs to be, and I don't really read reversals like that. So with this Ace upright, this is clarity again. This is clarity. This is truth. This is things coming into alignment. This is you cutting out the bull. This is you seeing through everyone's facade, and even the facade you put on for yourself, because I feel like a lot of you have been playing chameleon so long you don't know who you are for real. This is that time for you to take the time to know who you are. Find out what makes you tick, why things are triggers for you instead of being inspiration for you. Why are things being thwarted for you when you're trying so hard to put things in balance? You know, that's because you don't know who you are, so you don't know where your energy is directed. You're trying to please you, you're trying to please this person, you're trying to please other people, and to the point where it's gotten to, you just said forget me and let me just do what I need to do for other people. This is where all of this is coming from. Being in that people pleasing, good girl mode. You dig me? Hey, boo. This is all about standing in your own personal power. This is all about you letting go of the facade of trying to be what everyone else wants you to be. This is you understanding what makes you tick and how and why. Again, I'm about to pull out my book with the questions. I'm going to reiterate the questions. Who is my future self and how are they behaving or acting? Who do I want to be? How does that look? How would they be acting? How would they present themselves, right? How is my future self different from who I am right now? How are they different? How would their thought process be different than how you think now? How would their emotional IQ be versus how you are now? Some of you are like bags of water, but you put on this facade, you put on this front, but underneath you are hurting, you are dying inside because you are not your true self, right? But if you were, how is that different from who you are now, right? What changes would you make? What things would you have to face and let go of? Who will I become if I don't make any changes? If you don't make any changes and you stay who you are right now for the rest of your life, and you don't seek or aspire for more, to evolve spiritually, emotionally, to master yourself, to be your highest, truest self, your most authentic self, who will you be? You're gonna play who? Chameleon forever? How is that gonna look? If you don't make any changes, how is that gonna look for you? Is that something that you're willing to deal with? Is that something that you're willing to live with? I don't think you are. Because if you were, you wouldn't be looking for something more. And it says, how do these changes play out? So how do they play out? Like if you set certain boundaries, how is that gonna play out for you in your life, in your relationships, in the things that you feel that are the most important to who you are as a person, right? What interpersonal things do you have to change? Because that's what transformation is. Transformation is making necessary internal changes to change your external world. It's not about changing the things on the outside, dressing different and wearing your hair different and all of that. It's not about the costume, right? It's about the knowledge, the internal knowledge that you have to change, to be more. So this is definitely going through that energy of discovery, going through the hard times, facing those things that are not the greatest. This is not going to be a simple full moon. This is not going to be an emotionally easy full moon. I'm going to let you know now. It's going to be kind of tough. It's going to be a little bit rough. Those of you with Pisces placements, those of you with Virgo placements are going to feel this. Those of you with Gemini placements, you're going to feel this. And I'm a Capricorn sun, but I'm a Pisces moon. So I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the moon. I'm feeling the energy. I'm feeling the energy of wanting to tackle those things that are within me that I've been afraid to bring to the surface, because I feel like it may make me look weak or make me vulnerable, right? I don't like being vulnerable, right? I don't like it. I'm a Capricorn. I don't like that. But I understand, because I'm an evolved individual and I'm evolving every day. And because I do have a Pisces moon placement, and because I am a psychic and a medium, I understand and I feel and can read energy and colors and auras. I'm like all of this, all the psychic hits, I'm getting all of that. The psychic energy, like I feel the shivers through my body for no reason. I get messages for no reason, hence the notes I've taken to showing you guys my notes. I didn't do that before, because before I felt like, okay, I'm supposed to come up here, I'm gonna riddle it off memory. No, that's not how this works. I have so much information and I'm bombarded with so many messages that it's humanly impossible, because at the end of the day, I am a human. Okay, I am in human form. So that's maybe a message for somebody. You're trying to put on this facade like you are this and you are that. And the bottom line is, you take notes like everybody else. The truth is, you take bumps and bruises like everybody else. The truth is, even though you are putting on this persona of being all put together, you're not. And nobody is. FYI, the skinny, the tea, no one is. No one is all put together. Nobody. Not even the most trained sage is perfect all the time. Doesn't go through ups and downs. Doesn't question their faith and who they are and things of that nature. And we all do. But it's about healthy questioning. It's about taking an objective view. It's taking an analytical view. It's looking at it from a place of learning instead of place of fear and a crutch. You mean? You dig me? We got the ten of diamonds. This is the 10 of pentacles. This is legacy. This is everything coming together. This is your physical world being quantified for you. Right? You can keep it. You need to hurry up. Feelings. I'm having fun. Okay, we got the 5 of clubs. And we got the 8 of clubs. The 5 of clubs is all about conflict and confusion, battles, chaos, meddling energy. The 7 of swords is meddling energy too. Meddling into your thoughts, meddling into your affairs, meddling into your progress, meddling, just having put it in their 2 cents. And this could be the ego too. And when the ego comes and raises, let's just be clear, okay? When we talk about ego and we say that ego is that lower vibration, your ego is like your spidey sense. That's that armor you've built so that you're not hurt, that you're not deceived, that you don't feel so deeply. You know what I'm saying? That so that you're not taken for a fool anymore or things like that. Those are those things that are keeping you safe, right? But this is a time of expansion. Safety is not the key right now. Now it's time to take a risk. Take a calculated emotional risk, right? On improvement, on empowerment, of transformation, of inspiration, of creativity. Whatever it is that you need to get the needle moving for yourself. Whatever's been stopping you, whatever's been blocking you. It's all about that at this moment in time. It's all about coming together with that and moving into a place of harmony, into a place of balance, into a place where justice is served for you and those that you've hurt along the way, and for those that have hurt you along the way. Because for some of you, this is definitely clear to me that it's definitely something that has to do with betrayal of the past. Feeling like, you know, you've been betrayed so much, maybe you're not who you thought you were, or maybe you're not giving out the energy you thought you were. With this Pisces full moon, with this harvest moon, it's time to do some spring cleaning, fall cleaning, whatever the freak you want to call it. It's all about coming together. It's all about recognizing. It's all about being authentic and true to yourself, right? You can't, here's the skinny, y'all, okay? You can't want to meet your future self or visualize your future self or even contemplate who your future self is, how they act, how they move, how they behave, if you're not willing to deal with who you are right now, right? If you're not willing to deal with who you are right now, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, your strengths, your weaknesses, then you're not going to be able to see or even quantify that, to even strive for that, to attune to that, right? Because you haven't made an atonement. You haven't made atonement for this to yourself. You haven't forgiven yourself for the past. You haven't forgiven yourself for the mistakes. You haven't forgiven yourself for the betrayals. You haven't forgiven yourself for operating in a lower vibration. You haven't forgiven yourself for just not freaking knowing. You haven't forgiven yourself for just being human and being on this journey. You haven't. You're still criticizing yourself. You're still berating yourself. You're still putting yourself in this box of saying, okay, well, you didn't notice it then, so you're not going to notice it now. You're not who you were yesterday. Okay? You're not your past. You are not who you were yesterday, and tomorrow you will not be who you are today, and the day after that you will evolve even ever still, because again, the only thing constant is change. The only thing constant is change, whether you see it, whether you believe it or not. This Pisces full moon is all about initiation. Like I said, it's initiating you into the higher understandings. It's initiating you to a better understanding of yourself. It's initiating you into a place of intuitive confidence, right? Creative energy, Coming in touch with your sexuality for those of you that have a block and a wall up against love and emotion and intimacy, right? It's about coming together with standing up for yourself about what you deserve in your workplace. It's about coming together with the things that you want to do as far as your business is concerned, your projects. Some of you are in this energy of trying to make yourself enriched, right? Enriched with meaning and purpose and direction and strategy. You're in this place and you've been in this crossroads for a while now. But this Pisces full moon, this harvest moon, is coming to give you a direction, to tell you which path is best for you, to lead you towards happiness, optimism. It's illuminating your path. Okay? Okay, we're going to do the Egyptian God Tarot Oracle cards. Is building on the momentum of the past, of the things that you've been doing. Some of you, like I said, you're very much on your path. You're very diligent. You're very persistent. You're very disciplined in what it is that you're trying to achieve. You're doing the research. You're making plans. You're actually pinpointing and narrowing down, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, things of that nature. You're doing what you need to do. Others of you are not, and you're wondering why you keep hitting a brick wall. You keep hitting this wall right here because you're not doing the work. You're still wallowing in this place and hoarding and harboring and holding on to shit that you don't need to. Seriously. It's just like you can't see a way out of the darkness. For others of you, you do. But the sun is here. The Six of Strands is here, which is the Six of Wands, which is all about victory, all about moving forward. Some of you might be moving locations personally as well, because we got the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Clubs, and the Six of Strands. Strands is all about the wands, moving. Eight of Clubs with the Three of Spades is all about communication. Some type of heartbreak is coming, or you're moving out of some type of heartbreak. For others of you, it's all about communication, having that uncomfortable conversation with yourself and moving into a place of peace and harmony, balance. Okay. Let's get 3 more cards. Genius. Intelligent. I'm gonna read from the book for these too. Stability and equilibrium. And we got Saturn in the air too. So it's all of that's discipline. Course correction. And Pisces is all about going with the flow. So it's like go with the flow of the change that's coming in your direction. Some of you, it's not going to be easy. Just know that. Dealing with emotions and stuff and intellect is never easy. But you're going to find some type of placement that's going to bring that stability and equilibrium. This is understanding where you are, that aha moment. Like I said, you're going during this time of review, sitting, rewinding, and all of this contemplation. You're going to get some type of genius idea that's going to spark some type of intellectual prowess for you. That's going to move you out of all of this. That's going to push you into the place that you're trying to be. the stability and equilibrium, balance, harmony that you've been looking for or seeking or whatever. It's over. And wisdom. It's over. Baby. I think this in this time of darkness and choosing your path and getting enlightenment. Like I said, you got the sun and you got genius here. That's that enlightenment. That's you're finding a spark that's gonna help you choose the path that you're still supposed to go down. 24 genius. It says genius. She's a great protectress of pregnant women and children who is vigilant even in her sleep. Goddess depicted with the feathers of a pregnant hippo with human breasts, standing on two legs with a crocodile's tail on her back. She's considered the mother of the sun and collaborates in his daily rebirth, as well as helping the deceased to be reborn in a new life. She symbolizes everything that leads to the generation of things and their appearance. You could start some new projects or have news on the way. The birth of something new, the arrival of a new life, or beginning of a relationship in your life, both in the beginning phase and in the sense of a bond that is well wielded, such as marriage. Welded. So like I said, you're coming together with finding things that are going to bring you into communication or into awareness of what it is you're trying to achieve here. Some type of brilliance. Okay. 14. Intelligence. Hathor. She is the mother of all women. She is the goddess of love, passion, and beauty. Her parties are orgies of intoxication, joy, and music. She is also associated with childbirth, delivery, and children. She is portrayed as a young woman with cow horns on her head. The sun disk is placed between the horns, which is why she is also called the divine cow. But she also has a destructive side. Try to create pleasant situations and make the most of the moments you experience. In love, Hathor helps to intensify sexuality and the senses and the explosion of life, of everything capable of being born. Increase of wealth in all areas, especially material ones. Again, being able to quantify things in the material world. Something is going to happen. First, I feel like this really has to do with business. So those of you that have your own business or are entrepreneurs or looking to be, this is a good sign that now during this Mercury retrograde period, during this full moon energy, it's time to get all of that in order. Dot your I's, cross your T's, get your LLC, get your business bank account, start putting stuff in the name of your LLC and the name of your business, things of that nature. It's like making boss moves. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna come into contact with someone that's gonna help you do this or something of that nature. They're right there, right under it. They're right there in those green boxes under it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. The intelligence is coming. Okay. This is also using, like I said, using your intellect in a strategic way. It's not like I said, flying by the seat of your pants, just, oh, I got an idea and running with it. No, it's like, oh, I got an idea. Let me research this. How is the best way to maximize this? How is this going to help me along in whatever it is? Better my relationship, fortify my bottom line, help me become more spiritually connected to myself. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, and even if it's like a total life revamp, you're trying to give yourself a makeover, like a total life makeover, this is telling you that you're going something is going to come to mind. Someone is going to come and someone's going to say something. You might read something. Something's going to come into your awareness. It's going to like, oh, okay, that's going to ignite that spark, that's going to ignite that fire, that's going to shine light in the darkness for you, and you're going to be able to use that as a tool instead of a weapon. Okay, so it's not like saying, oh, I got this great idea, now I gotta go share it with everybody, because sharing your shit, I'm trying to tell you, gives people a chance to throw some bad juju on your shit. Sometimes you need to move in silence, especially if it's in the new phases. Like if it's in the conceptual phases, don't share that shit. Keep that shit to yourself until you got that shit well and on the way. Okay, we got stability and equilibrium, number 9. It says he is represented as a hawk or a hawk-headed man. His name means the distant one, the falcon. This is Horus, guys. The falcon, with its majestic soaring and swooping in the sky. During a confrontation with the god Seth, Horus lost his left eye, which was then healed by the god Thoth. The eye was given the name the Eye of Horus. He embodies universal order and harmony. Put your trust in the god Horus, because everything will turn out fine. As with the albeit painful loss of a false friend. Like I said, some of y'all got, didn't I say that? Didn't I say that? I said y'all got somebody in your mix that is not who they say they are, and they're putting you in a place that you are not being, because you're trying to fit in with them. Anyways, I digress. Back to what it said. On the physical plane, you will be wrapped in harmony. His presence advises you to show more awareness in the way you pay attention to your life. Boom. What did I say? He helps you to transform all things from an inferior to superior level. Again, who is your future self? How would that look? How would the evolved you react? How would you evolve you? You want that color?
No, natural color.
I got maybe a 1 or a 1B. I'm gonna see if I got it, because I think we mostly got colors in that shade. 1 minute, guys.
I'm sorry.
Oh, right. I got a 1 and a 1B.
Can I see the 1B? It's the lightest one. It's the lightest, the 1B, no 2, natural, nothing. Okay. I might just be different. I'm gonna look around a little more. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
It's over here, no worries. I just don't want it to knock the thing up. All right, we're back, guys. So again, like I said, there are things that are going to be coming into your awareness, things that you're going to have to face in order to move forward. Hey, Cuzzo. It's all about it's about tackling the shadow. Like, just be honest about it. It's about all of those things that you've been hoarding, harboring, suppressing, and oppressing within yourself that you've been hiding from you and everyone else. It's dropping the mask, dropping the facade. It's about not being in this fantasy world or portraying an avatar to the world, and just being your real self. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. And here's the tea, guys. You want to know the skinny? I'm just going to let you know. Those people that are going to fall off, because they're going to be people that are going to fall off. I'm just going to let you know now. That's why I said it's going to be an emotional ride. You're going to be breaking ties with people that you might have been, had ties with for a long time, but they can't go with you. They cannot. They're not ready. And you can't hinder your progress trying to drag them along. No man left behind. Leave them behind. They have to go through their own bumps and struggles to get to where they need to be. You can't drag them along because you're further along. That's forcing the situation, right? Just bad things happen. You can only control yourself in your evolution and your growth, not anyone else's. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Hold on 1 second. I gotta write it down and make sure there's a price on there, though.
Oh yeah, it's the price of it.
The $29.99. That's what I say. All right.
So that comes in different styles, or is that the same thing?
It's the same thing. It's just
Different colors. Okay.
$29.99. All right. There you go. Enjoy your weekend.
You do the same. Be blessed.
You too. All right. Y'all know how we do. Thank you guys for staying with me. If you're still with me, usually, guys, I'm trying to tell you, guys, watch the videos to the end. I know there's interruptions, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, but everything happens for a reason. Everything. Be astute. Be a scholar. Be the alchemist of your life. Like, know what combinations work with you, what combinations don't. This person's energy don't match with mine, boom, cut them off. I don't give a damn what you call it. Spirit, vibe, energy, aura, frequency, whatever. That infinite energy, that creative force, their life force, your chi, whatever. However you see it. This is what you need to hone, your personal soul power. Personal soul power. Activate it, calibrate it, and use it. This is exactly what I do. My Black Moon Spa calibration is about that. Soul power, activation, calibration. This is what I do. And how do I know how do I do this? Because I've been through this. I've been through all of this. And I still am growing and learning as an individual, as a person. Like I said, I'm not who I was yesterday. I'm not who I was a year ago. I'm definitely not who I was 10 years ago. And tomorrow I'm not going to be who I am today, and neither will you. If you choose to be in the same place and keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. Stop that shit. You want to get over it. You want to move to a different place. You want to have harmony in your life. You want to see miracles happen. You want to manifest abundance. You want to manifest peace and security. You want a life that you can only dream of. Be true to yourself. Be true to your goals. Activate and calibrate your own personal power. Set boundaries and stick to them. If you set a boundary for yourself, stick to it. Find out why you don't. Find out why. Go deep and ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself the probing questions. Why? Who? Who, what, where, and how? You dig me? Okay, number 31, wisdom. And at the bottom, at the end of this is wisdom. At the end of this long, arduous journey that I've been telling you about is wisdom. It's not about making things simple and having things at the snap of a finger, although that does happen. Yes, it does. When you become attuned and you are connected, things do happen like magic. Boom. That's what magic is. Magic is the influence. It's the influence, right? It's not the end all, the be all, but it's the influence. Okay. Number 31, wisdom. Her name means the scribe. Deity, teacher of Aramaic, astronomy, astrology, and agriculture. She is depicted dressed in a priestly leopard skin and with a banner reporting. Sorry, guys, interruptions. She is the patroness of scribes and builders and is the most cultured of the Egyptian divinities. She symbolizes the manifestation of intelligence. Intelligence, right? Cashapp reveals herself to you and illuminates your path of knowledge on the mental plane. Path, direction. Her presence strengthens your courage, sharpens your hope. Although you may have to endure sacrifices and renunciations, go forward and trust in her profound knowledge. Booyaka, booyaka. What did I say? What did I say? For the people in the back, I don't need these cards for real. I told y'all that. But this is, I thank you God for that confirmation, because this basically wraps up everything that I've said through this whole reading. And I thank you guys again for staying with me and listening and support and love. I thank you. If you've made it this far in this video, you are my rock stars. And I'll have a bonus for a reading for you guys in a minute, where I'm just going to pull 3 cards and we're going to do a channel, okay? But that basically sums up the whole energy that I'm feeling. It's like everything is happening for you to gain wisdom and knowledge, intelligence, genius, using your thoughts as it's like intellectual property. I keep hearing intellectual property. So some of you might need to put something, some of you might need to copyright some stuff. If you're writing something down, if you have a book or a manuscript or something that you're writing, you might want to get that shit copywritten, right? You might want to get an idea or something that you are working on, an invention. You might want to get that patented. Wait until after Mercury retrograde. Don't do anything right now. Now is your developmental phase. Now is your time to strategize. Now is your time to brainstorm. Now is the time to get rid of all of the bullshit that's been holding you back internally. Whatever negative narrative, whatever negative Nancy's been saying or whatever, let that shit go and move forward. Okay, I've let that go. How will my future self be? If I had my business and it was making the profits that I wanted, what kind of business person would I be? What kind of entrepreneur would I be? What type of this would I be? How would I act? How would I move? How would I think? Right? How would I process information? Okay? All right. Well, that's the reading for the full moon, the full harvest moon in Pisces. That is tonight. You guys make your moon water, do your spiritual baths, write down the things that you want to let go of, and really let go of them. You know, create you a spiritual space, you know, and really do the work. I mean, it is not easy. Like I said, it's nothing that matters or nothing that is worth it is ever easy. And nothing just comes. Nothing. Anything worth having is worth fighting for and worth striving for. So be determined in all of the things that you do. You know what I mean? And be forewarned about false friends, just falsities, false persons, people that are not willing to do better because they're just not. You can't care more about somebody else than they care about themselves, and you can't live anybody else's life but your own. Okay? So I'm going to do the bonus reading that I promised. Bonus reading. Whew. Thank you, Spirit. I'll clean my energy of that. Cleanse me, give me new insights. Cleanse. First of all, we're going to do a little pendulum just to clarify that the energy that I got for the full moon and Pisces reading was correct. Okay, so guys, my pendulum is a little different. Usually it moves left or moves in a direction if it's no, and it moves in another direction if it's yes. My pendulum does not move if it's no, and it will move if it's yes, okay? So, God's our Spirit, give me the answer. Is the energy that I felt for the full moon in Pisces correct? Is the message that I gave correct and precise? Is the message that I gave correct? Is the message that I gave precise? You guys see it? I'm not moving my hand. And it's moving more. That's a yes. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. The message that I gave is right. The message that I gave is on point. I know I'm talking right. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Did I crack it? I hope not. Anyways, bonus reading. I'm going to be using the Santa Marta. Bonus, bonus, bonus. Bonus, bonus, bonus. Bonus reading, bonus reading. Thank you guys for joining me and staying with me. For those of you that don't know, I do have personal readings available. You can pay me by PayPal or Cash App. Please go to my Facebook page. There are QR codes on there for you to scan. If you want a reading, you can text me via Messenger or drop a comment in the video, and I will get back with you about your free soul calibration reading if you're interested in the Black Moon Soul Power Activation and Calibration program that I have. I have a 6-month and I have a 12-month program. Also, personal readings, the price list and all of that stuff is on my Facebook page, and if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description box below. All right. All right. 3 cards, please. All right, we got the 10 of Cups, which is a blue butterfly. We have the King of Wands, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. With the 10 of Cups, I feel like there's happiness coming to the home and to the emotions. The 10 of Cups is all about family, relationships, the perfect relationship, ultimate happiness, things of that nature. And this is happiness with others, right? This is happiness in a union or in your environment, your community, your family, your job. This is happiness with other people. Okay, the 9 of Cups is all about personal happiness, personal growth, internal peace. This is about finding peace in your environment, finding happiness all around you. Things are going to be changing and evolving for you. Butterfly syndrome, that's what I call it, where you basically melt down and rebuild yourself into this butterfly, and you represent yourself. Like, I reintroduce myself, right? And the King of Wands is pointing to this 10 of Cups. So it's like, yes, I am moving towards this. I want this harmony. I want this peace. This is what I'm seeking. This is where I'm headed. This is the direction. This is where I'm putting my energy at. This is where I'm creatively and actively moving towards. This is what I want. And the Wheel of Fortune is telling you that, yes, now is the time to let go of those things. Now is the time to ride that Wheel of Fortune out of this cycle, out of this phase, into something new, into something great, into something that is more harmonious for you, not repeating a cycle. For some of you, you will be repeating a cycle if you're not moving towards a higher goal, right? If you're just wallowing. All right? So take that what it's worth. I love you guys. I thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, become a fan if you're watching me on YouNow. Follow me on all of my platforms, Facebook, IG, YouNow, and YouTube. And also make sure that if you want a reading, drop me a comment. Make sure to IM me or DM me on IG. And those of you who are interested in the Black Moon Spa calibration, the Black Moon Soul Power Activation Calibration, you can email me at blackmoon@bmgibutter.com. That is blackmoon@bmgibutta.com. And I'll put that somewhere in the description or the comments, as well as a way to get in contact with me and get pricing and all of those things. All right. You guys enjoy this energy. Use it for your greatest and highest good, your greatest and highest evolution, and to come into contact with your greatest and higher self. I love you guys. Peace, love, and hair grease.